Welcome back to the smartest year ever, our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalists. My name is Gordy, and I was just wondering, how do cameras work and how did we invent them? Like and subscribe if you haven't so you can keep up every single day. I do this every single day. Dreaming6248 asked in a comment if I could do one about how cameras work, and I'm like, heck yeah, buddy. I got you. So I'm going to answer that today. Let's get right into it. All right, before digital sensors, before film, before daguerreotypes even, and glass plates, things like that, there was a dark room with a tiny hole in the wall. Which sounds like the setup for a dirty joke, but I promise it's not. But this dark room, it blew people's minds. The earliest form of a camera wasn't a device at all. It was actually a space. It was called the camera obscura, Latin for dark chamber. I actually saw one of these in person last month at the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles. Pretty dang cool to see it in person. I really can't imagine how it would have blown me away had I never even seen a camera or the concept of videos or photos. It would have just been like, whoa, that is witchcraft. But if you darken a room and you poke a small hole in one wall, an image of the outside world will project upside down on the opposite wall. It's pure physics. Light travels in straight lines and the hole acts like a pinhole lens. Camera obscura was first described by the Chinese philosopher Mozi around the 5th century BCE and also by Aristotle a century later. But for centuries, it was more of a curiosity than a tool. And that changed during the Islamic Golden Age when scientists like Ibn al-Haytham studied optics in depth. Around the year 1000 CE, he described the camera obscura in detail, using it to observe solar eclipses without burning his eyes out. That's always good. I feel like we're still not very good at not looking at the eclipses with our bare eyes. Fun side note, Ibn al-Haytham also realized that vision works because light enters the eye, not because the eyes shoot beams, which was the prevailing belief at the time. It was a real belief. By the 1500s, artists started using camera obscuras to improve realism. So painters like Vermeer, he may have once used a camera obscura to trace detailed scenes. And they even added lenses to improve image sharpness, but still there's no way to capture the image. You could see it, but you couldn't save it, right? That didn't happen until 1826 when French inventor Nicéphore Niépce, cool ass name too, created the first permanent photograph. So if I'm a good person, I'll be showing you the picture of the very first photograph ever. That is insane. He coated a metal plate with light-sensitive chemicals, bitumen of Judea. It's essentially some asphalt, tar-like substance, and he stuck it in a box and exposed it to sunlight for 8 hours. And this resulted in this grainy, ghost-like rooftop photo. And this was the birth of photography. So yeah, check out that pic that I definitely added. Whoa, no way! But just a few years later, Louis Daguerre built on Niépce's work and invented the daguerreotype, a process that used silver-coated copper plates to produce sharp, detailed images and became the first commercially successful form of photography. In 1838, Daguerre accidentally captured the first photograph of a human, a man that was getting his boots shined on a Paris street because he stood still long enough during a 10-minute exposure. That's how long it took, while everyone else was blurred because they were moving, but he stood in the same place long enough. Look, there he is. That is the first human that we actually have proof existed. It is all just conjecture at that point, before that. That is proof. He is the first human. Within a decade, exposure times dropped, resolution improved, and cameras became more than science experiments. And by the late 1800s, George Eastman, the founder of Kodak, he introduced roll film and portable cameras for the masses. And so that ancient dark room, it had officially become a handheld memory machine, which is pretty cool and pretty impressive. So there you have it. The camera wasn't born as a little gadget. It started as a trick of light in a dark room. And the first photos, they weren't just taken, they were cooked by sunlight. It's pretty neat. I don't know. Thank you to all my sources, which can be found in the YouTube description. Thank you for the photos, Daguerre and Niépce. Please leave me a comment. Follow, rate, like, subscribe, share with someone who likes this sort of thing. @SmartestYearEver on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts for the full episodes. @SmartestYearEver on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts for your daily clips. In the meantime, stay curious and stay clever on our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalists. I will see you tomorrow in the smartest year ever.